Hey guys, so Section 8 is giving me 60 days to decide whether I want to keep my voucher or if I want to just walk away from it. There's a disclaimer. This video isn't to bash anybody who is on it, who's still on it, or who's looking forward to getting on it, or anybody of that nature. I just wanted to get on here and say that I have learned over the past 3 years since I've been on it that it's designed to keep a lot of us stuck. Now, I'm not gonna say that all of us want the same thing because everybody direction in life is totally different. However, before I got on it, it was, when it came to me, I knew and I felt like it was a blessing, which it was, right? I had a plan. I had a goal to get on it, move out of my city that I grew up in, to maybe be in a better environment for me and my child, and to just allow him to have like a better option of schools and things like that. So I moved away from my city with my Section 8, which was a blessing. And I was able to, me and my son was able to learn new things. We was able to see, different things and stuff like that. We was able to be in a community that was absolutely safe for us, right, from where we've come from. However, as I got to the second year, I started to realize that it was sort of a way to try and hold me back from what my original goal was. My original goal was to actually buy a home for me and my child. Once I got into the Section 8 housing, my credit was good. I had a 770 credit score, right? So I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the Section 8 and I'm going to leverage the Section 8 voucher. I'm going to use it. I'm going to be able to save. I'm going to be able to, my credit going to be able to, go higher. I'm going to be able to pay and stuff like that. However, once I got on it, I noticed those things started to decline. My credit started to decline. I have gotten more bills than I had before I got on Section 8, right? So being in my city where I come from, we only had to pay like gas and electric, right? But once I moved out of that city and moved to another city, to another state, I noticed that I had to pay gas and electric, two separate things, right? So I started to notice, like, was the Section 8 voucher a blessing, or was it just, it was put in position for me to fail? And I started to notice on the third year that I was able to, thank God that I was able to fix my credit from the second year that I was on the Section 8, because just so happened those things started to drop on my credit if I came up short with late payments and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, this Section 8, isn't it supposed to help me? So I noticed that on the third year that it was designed to make me fail. Whether you guys believe it or not, I'm not here to actually tell everybody's story, but that's just my story. My credit score started to go down low. Thank God I was able to, clear up a lot of things that were not true. So they were telling me that.
Here's the thing. I think we just have to get away from the idea of living off Section 8, right? It's like when people are trying to strategize whether or not they should keep their Section 8, really not even try to strategize, when they're just trying to still improve in their life, but they're trying to work around Section 8 because they see it as something that, like, they don't want to get rid of. They don't want to try to do better for themselves. Listen, you should be trying to improve your situation and trying to get off of it. You shouldn't be making decisions of how you can do this over here, but still keep Section 8 and still be in good standing for the program. That's ultimately what's going to cripple you, and that's ultimately what cripples most people. But let's hear the rest of her story. Before we do, if you all could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hide.
Once I moved from my first apartment, they were saying that I had a fee that was more than my actual rent. So now that I'm in the situation again, the third year, I've noticed that something isn't right. And I'm not saying that maybe things could have been different if I would have stayed at my previous state, but I knew I wanted more. I knew I wanted more for me and my son. I knew I wanted more for our well-being. I knew I wanted more as far as my finances and my credit score and stuff like that. So I decided to move out. And one thing I can say that it has been such a blessing to me because I was able to learn. I was able to not settle for the things that I thought I wanted. Now I know that God is taking me to another level in my faith journey. So I just wanted to just get on here and say, like, Section 8 is literally designed for us to fail, whether you guys believe it or not. I really do wish that I could give mines to another single mom who's in need and who don't have the same dreams or goals as me, but to be able to house people, right? To be able to house her family, whatever the case may be. But I just was sitting here thinking, like, this is it for me. This is it for me. I don't know how things may look, but I do believe that the Lord is going to take me to another level in my faith. So I'm just going to believe in him, and I'm just going to stand on his promises, because they are yes and amen. And I believe that he's taking me to another level in life with me and my child. And my ultimate goal is to build a home. Not even just to buy a home, but to build a home and to make it as beautiful as I dream for it to be. So that's just my take on Section 8. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have you guys ever been on it? I mean, I am not afraid to say that I was on it. I know that once I got on it, I had a plan, which I still have that plan. So I know that God gets the glory. God gets the glory. Section 8 ain't getting the glory. So that's just my take on it. Comment down below, you guys, if you guys have ever thought about it or ever been in a situation before. But listen, we in it.
Listen, here's a warning right off the bat. It's about to get a little cynical over here. So there's your warning. I've already labeled it and established it. And I can even remove her from the situation. So I'm not saying it's her. So that's a second warning that I done gave. Listen, we're going to start seeing a lot more videos like this. And here's what I mean. There's going to be a lot of people out here capping, ultimately. Capping, if you're not familiar with what that word means, that means basically BSing, acting as if something is one way when it's really the other. So let me explain. Listen, there's going to be a lot of people on here virtue signaling, acting like they're giving up their Section 8 and they're doing the right thing and they want somebody else to have it. They're going to be on here virtue signaling when they're getting off Section 8. But really what's actually happening is the new 2-year rule is getting them off the program. So they really don't have a choice. They had to get off of it anyway. Not saying it's her. Could be, though. Because I did catch it when she said, me and my kid. Singular, not plural. And she looks very able-bodied, in my opinion. So if she's already been on it for a while, I wouldn't be surprised if she got caught up in that 2-year rule now. And basically she had to get off of it. And so now she's on here saving face. And again, I'm going to remove her off of it. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people are going to come on here acting like they're being virtuous and righteous when really they're getting kicked off, but they're trying to spin it basically to save face. So prepare for that. And when we're watching some of these videos where it's like, really, all of a sudden in this environment, you just all of a sudden are just getting off of it, huh? It sounds good, but from what we know, man, people try to hold on to these vouchers for as long as possible. So that's a very rare thing. And I can't see people just getting off of it voluntarily, because why hadn't y'all got off it voluntarily all this time? Now all of a sudden there's a rule that kicks you off of it, and now you're just giving it up freely, huh? Again, y'all, if you could like the video, greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, really.
So y'all, let me tell y'all a story time about how my homegirl, baby daddy, got her kicked off Section 8 while I heated my Panera Bread, broccoli, and cherry soup. Hold on. Never been on Section 8. This video is not for you, so keep on scrolling, because people that know. Anyway, so she used to always want to go out with me, and I used to tell her, like, girl, that man is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, on your head because you always going out with me. I don't have no man. I got a permanent babysitter, y'all, and everything's fine. Hold on, let me get my. I had already told her, like, listen, I'm going with my little situation. You know what I'm saying? When the club is over, this is where I'm going. And she was like, good, because I'm going to go with my little whoop-de-whoop. She had already had her own place set up, y'all, but I was always a scapegoat. So we get in the club, we hanging out, we having a good time. My little, you know what I'm saying, situationship came in the club. He got a whole entourage with him. As he got the entourage, guess what happened, y'all? She don't even want to go with her little whoop-de-whoop no more. She want to go with one of my situationships homeboys. So I'm like, girl, you got to go home. Your baby daddy, I'm telling her, you got to go home. Y'all, Why? She ain't go home. She didn't go home. She stayed wherever I was at. Listen, she got her own room with her, the dude, and I got my own room with my little situationship, y'all. And we in Tampa at this time. So y'all, her baby daddy blowing her phone up. Her baby daddy blowing my phone up. And I'm like, girl, he is calling me like he my nigga. We ain't finna be doing that. So she goes home. She was like, I'm gonna tell him whatever. He gonna be straight. We gonna be straight. Y'all, when she got home, the nigga had done took her kids to his mama house, left her a note on the door and told her, make sure you find you somewhere to stay because I got my kids and I done already called the housing people on you and told them people that you gotta this your income and you do not need Section 8, which she didn't, y'all, but she was just getting, you know what I'm saying, getting coming up. And baby, when I tell you, them people caked her out like the next week. I don't know what he told them people. Y'all, listen, she had to start paying full rent. She couldn't go, you know what I'm saying, use subsidized housing anymore, none of that Section 8. Them people told her, oh no, you're going to have to pay real rent and we want real check stubs. We want real everything. When I say that man was so upset, and like right now to this day, y'all, when he see me in the hood or somewhere like that, when I go back to my city, he he frown up on me. Now him and her still together though. They still together. They worked it out. But baby, he got her kicked off. So not only did you get your baby mama kicked off of housing, now you got to pay full rent too because now you stayed up. Told him that he stayed up and he had the kids and da 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 da. Y'all, it was so bad. But y'all, she still did it over and over again. She didn't give a fuck. My dog was taking one for the team. When I tell you, but y'all, when I tell y'all some of the stories I have did and done and oh my God, the things that I have done in my lifetime. My dog got kicked off of Section 8 and she didn't give a fuck, bitch, because she was going to do what? Get her money. So y'all,
Yeah. Where do I start with this? Let's start here. So let's get this straight. She's on Section 8, which means you're in a state of destitution to where you need the government and the taxpayers to take care of you. And while she's on Section 8, saying that she can't do anything, she can't work, da da da, where is she at in the middle of the night? At the club. Trying to go home with another dude or trying to go off with another dude while she actually has her family still together. She still had her family together. And she went to the club with this woman. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? A lot of times when we see these situations, and then the women are like, I'm homeless, I'm in a shelter, I don't have nobody. What do people like to sometimes come in the comments and say? Where's the man? Where's the father? See, we don't see this side. See, she's just an honest person, so she's just telling the story how it is. We don't see this side. Where's the father? He was there, but he was getting gaslit. He was getting gaslit, and ultimately he was being betrayed. And then you're like, where is he? Why? How could he just let her just be out here like this? Now you see decisions. A lot of this stuff comes down to decisions and self-inflicted wounds and lack of prioritization. She was prioritized. She is a mother in destitution, and she's prioritizing going to the club in the middle of the night. Really think about that. And she still has her family, and she's getting over on the system because she's defrauding the system because he wasn't supposed to be there. So guess what that means too? They were very stable. They don't have any rent. He's probably working full time, and they're probably stacking all that money. And guess what? He probably kept all his money and just went off. And now she's gonna have to figure it out because now she doesn't have her voucher and all this type of stuff, and she's probably gonna end up homeless or in a shelter. Or it's funny enough, right? Because think about this: it was really her fault because she wanted to go so bad, but she has a family and she decides she wants to hang out with her single friend. I don't want to say that this woman tempted her because it seemed like she just wanted to do it. She wanted to be a part of that life. But I'm ultimately saying, you risked your family to go hang out with this woman. I guarantee you can't go stay with that woman. Guarantee she's gonna be like, nah, you can't stay here with your kid. no priorities. And then they come on here and it's like, well, how did it end up this way? And we never get that answer. We never find that out. All we know is that I'm struggling now. So I wanted to flag that.
So I made the statement that there are some Africans that worship white people. And with that, I've been getting comments from Africans saying that, I'm a Section 8 warrior, government assistance from the white man. I don't know why you think you're chosen to have to pay bills. If the government knocked on my door tomorrow and said, you get Section 8, you get food stamps, you get free health care, you get cash assistance, I will feel like I won the motherfucking lottery, okay? Okay, because guess what? Guess what? Without those things, we can ensure one thing. I'm enslaved to the system. Because guess what? I got to go to work to pay these motherfucking bills, okay? And so when I'm riding past the projects and I see them out there and they're on their barbecue and they're twerking and they got their little sippy sip in their hand and they playing the music and I'm on my way to work, I'd be like, to the Section 8 guy, when is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my turn? Free rent, free food, free cash assistance, free health care. Please, getting Section 8 is never an insult, okay? Actually, I've made a video saying that these bitches from the 60s and 70s need to get the fuck off Section 8 so we can get a turn, right? So we can know what it feels like to not have to pay bills, okay? Right? Because you can't make me mad about that. You literally can't. You can't. You can't. Literally you can't. So I made.
Tell me why today's a day of my inspection. And I hear my neighbor talking about some. Don't worry about my house when the girl next door be making mad noise and shit. First of all, my music just be loud. There ain't nothing wrong with playing fucking music. This is my crib. I pay my bills. You don't. And then I hate the people who like to clown about having motherfucking Section 8 because you ain't getting me out this bitch. Yeah, I got that shit. You ain't getting me out. And I'll say it loud and proud because all y'all on that motherfucking waiting list. Talking about some, oh, you got Section 8, you got Section 8. Well, bitch, I don't give a fuck because all y'all on that waiting list waiting for Section 8. Like, hello. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say that because, like, don't piss me off. Tell me why today.
So addressing the previous woman before this clip, who she wants Section 8 real bad. She wants it real bad. And she's saying that the other people need to get off of it so she can get on it. But what are you doing today? What are you doing today? You have this fantastical view of how your life would be if you could just get everything paid for, have everything free. You seem to be very healthy. You seem to have a lot of energy. And so, what are you doing right now to set yourself up to where you don't need it? Even if by chance one day you did be able to get past the waiting list and eventually get it, why not still diversify? And I'm sure she's doing something. I'm sure she's making it. But you're taking up a lot of mental bandwidth by focusing on something that, for one, is being highly regulated now and really trying to be cut majorly for able-bodied people. And two, you don't need that. See, but the problem is what she said, which is she mentioned the elders need to get off of it. She's talking about the elder women because that's what she saw. And they made it look glamorous. And she didn't see another way, probably. So she feels like that's the only way to actually be prosperous and be thriving. So it's not really entirely her fault if that's all she saw from the women in her family or from just other women in general, and that's what they praised and looked up to and held up. But I'm telling you, it's another way. Work hard, be selective, pick something to where it's going to appreciate over time, so not something dead end. Be working towards something, and you can get that. And don't put self-inflicted wounds on yourself. Don't have any kids until you're actually ready to take care of those kids with a strong foundation. And if we do that, I think we'll find that life really isn't that hard. We're really out here just making it hard. Just like the woman who just had to go to the club and she risked her entire family. She made it hard. Her life was easy. She was getting over. But she decided to add a variable, add a volatile variable into the situation, which ultimately disrupted her entire life.
My black people, black people, black people. Let me talk as calmly as I know how, because some of the stuff that we do outrages and pisses me off. Section 8 was never designed for you to live.
The caption says, Blacks that depend on Section 8 for survival, time is running out. You better figure out your life because you get no pity here. Okay.
Off of. Section 8 was never designed for you to raise households off of. Section 8 is a stepping stone. It allows the government to pay a large majority of your rent just so you can build yourself up big enough to become independent enough to get off of it and return it back to the state for another recipient to get a hold of it. Y'all sat down on this Section 8. Greed kicked in, selfishness kicked in, and you all stayed on it 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Then the government comes in and
I actually love that she said that. That's so true. She said, greed set in, selfishness set in. It's funny, right? Usually, when you go to areas of destitution, maybe even countries, maybe even third world countries, what you find is that it's not a bunch of people all fighting all over resources and, you know, trying to crab each other down to the bottom of the barrel. It's funny. People think that scarcity causes selfishness, as if people are like fighting for scraps. No, actually, abundance causes selfishness. And so people had something and it was sweet and it was something to be taken advantage of and ultimately capitalized on. And so, like she said, it caused them to be selfish and for them to try to hoard it to themselves and not do the fair thing and give it up for the next person. And that's kind of where we got and where it started to kind of spiral out of control.
mind you, y'all ones that forgot how Section 8 operate, reminded you all, we're not going to do this. So now they are narrowing it down, sending out notices that you all need to prepare yourselves to vacate off of it. And instead of you all taking the time that they gave you, because they're not dropping the bomb on you in 60 days and 30 days. They're dropping the bomb on you a year from now, months from now. Some of y'all are not even taking heed to what they are saying. Y'all are taking to the news. Y'all are getting on the news. And you all are saying, you all are getting there. And what y'all are saying? Nothing. Y'all getting on there. I don't know why the government is doing me like this. I'm on Section 8. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? They told me we got to be gone by January 2027. This is 2026. April
That's good. That's a good point.
2026. You got May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And do you want the American people to feel sorry for you all? There are people out here that go to work every day. There are people out here that pay real rent. There are people out here that go out here and struggle. There are people out here that don't like the jobs that they're on, but it pays the bills. My black people, some of my black people, y'all have gotten so comfortable with being welfare recipients, being welfare bound, being bottle fed by the state that y'all don't mind. But newsflash, they are tired. Section 8 never should have been for nobody but disabled people, veterans that are homeless, that got one income, that fought for their country, and elderly people that qualify for it. Some of y'all people want that South Fulton apartment complex.
Before she gets in South Fulton apartment complex, she brought up an amazing point. There's people out here complaining, and they have a year's notice. There's people out here complaining that's about to get started, and they're complaining about the 2-year rule. Really picture that. You have 2 years, and you're like, "What? This isn't fair. I'm not going to be able to keep it for a decade. What the heck is going on? How am I supposed to do anything? How am I supposed to take care of my kids?" And the reason that you find this is because people have made such egregious decisions and inflicted themselves and sabotaged themselves so egregiously that when they really look at their situation, they're like, how can you expect any person to be able to survive and be able to actually operate within these logistics? And then we have to ask, well, why did you have all those kids? Because that's really the thing that I'm talking about. It's people who decided to be single mothers and have 7, 8 kids. And they're like, 2 years isn't enough. Well, why did you decide to have all those kids? Because that is a process. Really think about when you're having a kid. That's a whole 9-month process. Then the kid is around after the fact. How did you go after, let's just say the third time, which I still think is too much slack. But if I give you slack after the third one, how did you continue after that and not solve the problem and only make it worse and exacerbate it? So this is what we deal with. And those are majority of the people who are complaining and acting like things are going to be impossible if they're not taken care of for their entire lifetime. And it's just not going to be that way anymore. So there's going to be people who are going to be made examples of. And the saddest part about it is the people who are going to suffer the most are going to be the children. But this life's not perfect. Listen, there's wars going on right now where children are suffering. Life's not perfect. And the things that you go through is going to make you or break you. But listen, we can't, at this point, it's just not practical. It's just not practical anymore, especially when people are abusing it and there's no shame. Everybody celebrates it. If you even talk about it and you're not talking about it in a positive way, people try to come for you. So the only way that we can do anything about it is you got to regulate it. And when things get regulated, it's going to affect the good people too. And that's sad. But we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button, then it shows the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points per hype. And then also Patreon link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.